Hey guys, it's Scott from fxmissions.com. Just a note, I've finished the trilogy of anthologies from the forefront, and all 3 books are currently available on Amazon.
Welcome to Foundational Missions Leadership Moment. Join your host, Scott McClelland of FX Missions, as he deep dives into the lives of leaders to glean secrets that will propel today's leaders to new heights. Here's Scott.
Hi, Scott McClelland here with your FX Missions Leadership Moment. Good to be here. I don't know how to say anything in Portuguese, but if I did, I would ask you right now, how do I say... where are we? This is Davi Almeida, my friend. Where are we, Davi?
Estamos em Cabo Frio. We are in Cabo Frio.
It's fascinating to me that Spanish and Portuguese are so close.
Yeah, it's close.
But yet so far away. Well, here we are in Cabo Frio, the state of Rio de Janeiro.
Right.
And the country of Brazil. South of the equator, guys. That means that right now, while I'm recording, it's springtime. I hope you're not freezing where you are right now. I'm not freezing. It's beautiful here, Cabo Frio.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful day.
Yeah. So Davi and I've known each other for quite a while, and we have had the privilege to do some things together. And after a number of years,
12 years.
Yeah, I was able to come to see you guys. You and, of course, Felipe, who will also be on the podcast. We're starting a new series on the podcast, and this is one of our early episodes on business and faith, how faith informs business, that kind of thing. So let's talk a little bit about you, Davi, and just tell me, of course I know, but if I didn't know, how can I know where you're from and something about you and your life?
Yeah, I'm from Belo Horizonte.
Okay.
It's the 3rd biggest city in Brazil. We are like in the southeast.
Mm-hmm.
We are about 6 hours drive to Rio de Janeiro. And my city is well known from the producers of milk. We were talking with Felipe.
Oh, yes.
A couple of days ago.
Uh-huh.
He wants to try our cheese. It's a famous cheese. And now I'm a businessman. I work with music.
Yeah.
I play drums and guitar since I was a little boy.
Okay.
And I met the Lord when I was a kid as well.
Yeah.
My whole family, we are believers. And what else can I tell you?
Are you married?
I'm married.
To the most beautiful woman in the world.
Women in the world.
Yes.
Yeah. Her name is Juliana.
Juliana.
I got 2 kids.
Nice.
The youngest is Stephen.
Yes,
Stephen.
Uh-huh.
And the oldest one is Clarice.
Okay.
She's 5 years old. And I miss them already. We are just 3 days apart, and I miss them.
For sure, man.
I got married in 2012. I'm about to be 10 years married. So I'm 40 years old.
Almost 10 years married.
Yeah, almost 10 years. In February, we'll be 10 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's going to be I hope you're preparing a proper celebration.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Yes, you should do. And keep in mind, I've been married 30-something years, that you don't want the celebration for the 10-year to exceed the 20-year.
Oh, I got you.
So you got to pace yourself.
Slow down.
Yeah,
don't
pace
tell
yourself.
my wife that.
Don't take it over the fence. Because you have to
She
go.
has high expectations.
Yes. Keep a little surprise. Keep a little something. Yeah, I just speak from experience because I did it the wrong way. For sure. But yeah. Well, we met in 2007.
Right.
We were both in Carolina at that time, and we were working on some mission stuff. You guys were. You and Felipe, who is also here with us, we were students there. Or I was in the team, and you were a student there on the missions program. Yes. We had some good times during that. Seems so long
We ran
ago.
a lot early in the morning and doing push-ups and
yes.
sit-ups.
Yeah. Thankfully, you can't see how out of shape I am on the podcast. But there was a day I was twisted, Steve. I was just in good shape one day. Anyway, so that's where we met in the Carolinas. Of course, we over the years, we maintained some contact, but always I wanted to come and see you, and you always have made me feel really welcome. We're staying here in your family's place in Cabo Frio, which is, I'm trying to think, what is this like for the people in the U.S. to compare Cabo Frio to something in the U.S.? I'm going to struggle to do it, but I'm thinking maybe it's like San Diego. San Diego has good weather. It's a lot of coast. It's a little bit warmer than L.A., and also the water's a little bit warmer. Of course, the weather here we're springtime here, so it's not the warmest it's going to be. But I think maybe it feels a little bit like San Diego here, except the water is far more beautiful. San Diego doesn't have a lot of color, like that Caribbean style color. They don't have it.
And also the sand.
The sand, yes, is very
thin and white here.
Here, the best sand I've ever seen. And I've been to some beaches around the world a little bit. I'm sure this is among the best sand I've ever seen. Powder.
It's like powder.
Oh, come on, and white. Be ready for sunscreen because it's coming from above and below. The light is
shining all over.
Yeah, so beautiful. Thank you for inviting. And thank you also for agreeing to be on the podcast. I want to talk a little bit about generally how faith is informing your business approach. I've been in business a long time, and so I have my story and my stories. The longer you're in business, you think, oh, my business had a crisis and we survived. Thank God. Not all businesses do survive a crisis. But then you go on to say, oh, this is going to be my second business crisis. In the life of a business that continues, it's not just one crisis. There's things that come to threaten, like any family, like any marriage, like any life. So just want to talk into a little bit how you got in business, what type of business you're in. I didn't know you played drums.
Yeah, it was my first instrument was drum. I start with drums. Yeah.
It's powerful. Of course, you were leading worship back during those days when we first met at Morning Star. So you've been doing it a long time, but I didn't know the drums. That's really cool.
Before we talk a little bit about Minueto, my business, I just want to thank you. Last week, I was talking to my wife and remembering how I felt honored to be chosen by you and the other leads, SF leaders, to lead the team to Kenya.
Yes.
It was a great experience for me because there was a lot of American people and I was a person from abroad.
Yeah.
And you guys trust me to lead a team in Kenya.
Yeah.
And it was a life-changing experience for me.
Wow.
We stayed like about 2 weeks in a city close to Nairobi. And we protect 3 wells with the whole team.
Yes.
And it was such an amazing experience. So I'm going to honor you before, because you saw something in me that maybe people that doesn't know me, they haven't seen.
Yeah.
I know in my city, in my church, people know me and they can trust me big responsibilities.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just want to thank you.
Oh, man. Thank you for saying so.
It was nice. Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought about it. You did a great job. Your team, of course, was with challenges. And I think specifically about as the leader of that team, you had to stay behind with a guy who had a bacterial infection in his intestine and had to be hospitalized. As the leader of the team, the team goes home and you're there at the hospital with this guy. So that was extra credit program. You did a great job on that. And it was years and years and years ago. We should tell that story. I would love to unpack it because it was also a life-changing time for me as well. I was on the team before you arrived. So we traded out, and I guess for a month we had a team there, and the water cleaning sort of program was a blessing. Yeah. Thank you for saying so, Davi. I appreciate it very much.
So in 2008, I came back to Brazil and I finished my master's degree, and I did it in administration.
Okay.
and tourism administration. And I was studying and also teaching guitar from people in my church.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a businessman in my church. He called me and say, "Hey, why don't we start a music school?
Uh-huh.
I can help you with that, and we both can work a school."
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Oh, sounds good to me." So I finished my college
Mm-hmm.
and start working with him on that.
Okay. Yeah.
And then after a couple months, he decided to jump off. He said, "No, I'm not going to be able. My father-in-law, he has some business that he wants me to take care." So he left the plan, I was by myself. But it was a good seed inside of me. I liked the idea. So I started going for it. And I found a friend of mine. We met each other when we were kids in YWAM mission. We traveled together. And today he's my partner. His name is Leonardo.
Okay. Yeah.
So we started a music school in my neighborhood and like 6 years ago. And then after that, we joined another friend to open a new school in a different neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So we now have 2 music schools, about 30 professors, the people who teach.
Yeah, who are teaching.
All the instruments, drums, keyboards, saxophone,
everything.
Flute. Yeah.
Wow.
We work a lot with kids. We have like kids for babies, 1 and 2 years.
Okay.
We start stimulate them since they are very little.
Uh-huh.
So it's nice, the classes. The parents, they do the activities with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So it's lots of fun. We were planning before COVID time to open another school. We might be doing that next year.
Mm-hmm.
We already had a business plan, ready.
Yeah, everything's planned, right?
So we are working on, because of COVID, we have to change our business a little bit, because we had live classes, the professor and the person in the same room.
Yeah.
But with COVID, we stay like a whole year shut down. We had to adapt our classes to video classes.
Yeah.
So now we are running both ways, The crisis make us to have to work with live lessons and also with the video lessons. My niece, she lives in South Africa.
Okay.
She's studying my school.
Oh, nice. That's
she loves
cool.
to sing, and there's a
singing coach there?
Coach.
Yeah. Wow. With the crisis, you discover maybe some flexibilities that you can use in other ways with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes the crisis come to make you grow, Maybe we're going to wait a little bit to go to online classes, but the crisis pushes us to...
Yeah. You adapt to the environment, right? There's always things coming. Of course, the world has faced a crisis together during these days, during these last few years. But another crisis is coming, and we have to adapt. I'm not talking about a worldwide scale, but on the personal and business level, we always are going to face challenges. And it's an opportunity to be an overcomer.
That's all for this week. Next time, Davi is going to share some surprising impacts to Brazilian culture and how he expects to see God use Brazil to reach the world.
Thank you for joining Scott with today's Leadership Moment. We hope you've apprehended an inspirational nugget or two that, when activated in your own life, will be imparted into those you lead. You may contact Scott at scott@fxmissions.com. Visit fxmissions.com to learn more about how you can grow your own leadership and engage in missions. Until next time, good day, everyone.